Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do a little fun tag that I have seen roaming around the YouTube world. I actually initially saw Angelica Nyqvist do this not too long ago, probably about, I want to say 5 days ago, but at the time I post this, I don't know when it will be. But it is the makeup declutter tag. Now, this was created by Abba Marie, so I will link her channel down below as well as Angelica if you haven't seen her video. But I've seen a bunch of other people do it in the last few days, and as soon as I saw Angelica's video, I thought, oh, I want to do that. That looks fun. Obviously, we all have different makeup collections, makeup inventory, makeup tastes, makeup styles. So we're all going to have different things that we pick, but it is 10 different sort of prompts in this tag. And yeah, I've got all of them ready to go. The last one is not really one single item. It is more of a grouping, but yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to see which products I first choose for this, and then you know, how it varies from other people. All right, so the first item is a makeup item that is impractical. Oh my gosh, this one was quite easy for me because it's the only item that I have of its kind, and I find it very strange. I don't see the point in it. I don't see how anyone can take pleasure in using this item, and for me, it seems quite impractical. And it is my blush crayon from Lord & Berry. So I don't have any other blush crayon. I've never even seen anyone talk about a blush crayon, and I received this in a beauty box. I can't remember which one, but I recently put this in my Shop My Stash, and I did my update for my Shop My Stash, and I forgot to talk about this item, but I definitely didn't use it 10 times. So it rolled into the second month, which I'm in right now, for my Shop My Stash. If you're not familiar, for my Shop My Stash, how many times am I gonna say that? I want to use all the products that I roll in for at least 10 times. I try, sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 8, but I try to push to 10 times. Anyway, this item I think I've only used twice in the last month and a half. It is so strange. First of all, like, how are you supposed to apply this? So I've done it 2 ways. I've applied it directly onto my cheeks, which feels terrible because A, it's hard. It's like an eyeliner. It's really hard. And it just smudged my face. You know, I already had foundation on. It was just a strange thing. So the next step I did was I put it all over, you know, my hand here, and then I sort of tried to pick it up and then put it on my cheek. But it doesn't really transfer that well when you do it like that, because once it's here, you know, it's only gonna go so far and blend so much, and you can't really scoop it up and then put it on your face. So, you know, it actually is a really beautiful color, and the 2 times that I have used it, I've managed to make it look nice. I haven't had to wipe it away, but it's impractical. You know, I like cream blushes. I like powder blushes. I will even do a liquid blush if I have to. They're not my favorite, but I will use it if it's nice and you know, it's not patchy. This is just impractical. Like, how does anyone actually use these and enjoy the application of it? So that was a really easy one for me to choose. Had I not had that item, I don't know what I would have picked. Okay, the next one is a mascara that is definitely expired. I think I'm pretty good with my mascaras. I usually only have 2 open at a time. It used to just be 1 open at a time, but there is one mascara that is the oldest in my collection that I have yet to open. So I don't know if it's expired or not, but I got it pre-pandy times, like pre, you know, 2020. Then obviously I just never opened it, and it is the Yves Saint Laurent mascara. I think this is just the standard one. There's nothing special about this, but I really love this mascara, and I got it as a Christmas stocking from my mom the previous Christmas, 2019 Christmas, and I didn't open it. And then, you know, I had my son in February of 2020. I didn't open it. I especially during the months after of what happened in the whole world, I did not use this. I didn't feel the need to open it up. I'm just going to sit at my home for months and months on end, which is what happened. So I never opened this, and I have yet to open this. This is crazy. I imagine it probably is still decent. I don't know how much, you know, they can sit and not go to waste. I mean, once you open it, it does have a shelf life of, I think it says 6 months here, but I like to try to get rid of mascara, like use up my mascara, not get rid of them. I would say 3 to 4 months. Past that, it tends to get a little bit too dry and I tend to use it out too much. But yeah, I am waiting for a moment to open this up. I think because of when I received this item, it's somehow become special. And also, I don't know if it still is, but at the time and for a long time, it has been my favorite mascara that I've ever tried. And it's a little bit bougie, it's expensive. So, you know, it's a full size. I don't want to open it just on a whim and then not use it. So I'm kind of waiting on a special occasion, which I know is stupid with makeup and you shouldn't do that. But for this particular item in my collection, that is the one and only reason why I have not opened it. It's strange, but it's probably expired at this point. All right, next one is a red lipstick that you never wear. So I did end up putting red lipstick on today, and I did put a little bit of another lipstick over it because it was so drying. I don't have a huge amount of red lipstick, but I definitely have a few that I have failed to use in a really long time. The one I'm wearing today is actually my newest red lipstick from Nabla. It is super, super drying, but obviously I'm not going to pick this one. It is let's see, what is it called? Fool Me. It is very, very matte, very, very drying. But I'm not going to be talking about that one. No, the one I'm going to be talking about, actually I picked two, but one of them is older than the other. So this is BD Secrets or BD Trade Secrets. I don't know what the brand is. I got this in America quite a few many years ago, and this is in the shade Runway, and it is a beautiful red. It's probably my favorite red lipstick that I own currently. It's not too drying. It's a beautiful sort of it's a very bright red, but it's more of that blue red, not so much that purple red, the orange red that you can get. So I think it's a really beautiful, more or less true red. The one I have on today is very, very similar to it. Actually, it's just way more drying, but still very beautiful. No, so the item that kind of gets neglected the most is this powder luxe lipstick from Primark. I don't even know the name because I've never used this. I have never put this on my lips. I have swatched it enough times and it looks beautiful. It's in the shade Scarlet. It looks absolutely stunning, but I have never put this on my lips. I really need to. So this lipstick seems to be a little bit more orangey red as opposed to the other ones. So it's cool, right? I mean, they're a little bit different. They probably look the same on camera, but definitely is a little bit more orange. Actually, let me swatch this. So this one is the oldest lipstick that I currently have. That's a red shade. And then this one is the one that I have never used. And it's my second oldest in terms of lipstick. You can see this is the Primark one. So it's definitely more of an orange red. And then the one I have on today, I feel like it is much more similar than the first one. So that's the one I have on today. This one has a little bit of pink to it. So they're all quite different, but yeah. I don't wear red lipstick all too much, but the one that I never wear is this Primark one. So this one was another easy one for me to pick. All right, so next up is a high-end product that is not worth the money. I don't have too many high-end items, and the ones that I do have, thankfully, I actually appreciate and I like them. However, there's nothing wrong with this item. I just don't think it's worth the price tag. So I have picked the Hydromaniac foundation from Urban Decay. I think this is a good foundation, but I also don't think that this is better than any drugstore foundation that I have ever tried. And to be honest, I just don't see what I'm paying for other than the fact the packaging is really nice and it's Urban Decay. Whether it's Urban Decay or not, that's another story because, you know, they don't carry as much weight as they used to, but the packaging is beautiful. And, you know, so many people got this foundation when it came out. It was quite hyped about. I think people still really like this foundation. I would never repurchase this foundation because I just don't think it's worth the money. I don't think it's any different than something that is, you know, half its price, unfortunately. So I think this one slots in really nicely in this prompt for me. I don't dislike it, but I also don't love it. Okay, the next one is a Drugstore dud. This is a relatively new item for me, and it's one that I've just discovered is a dud the last week and a half. And it is the Essence Hydro, what is this? Hydro Hero 24-hour hydrating tinted cream. Oh my gosh, such a long name. I'm actually wearing this today. I've been struggling with this so much because it peels on me. So I have to be very, very careful what primer I use, and I've been basically testing it with all of my primers. It doesn't work with my Oprah primer at all, peels. It doesn't work with the Milk Hydro Grip primer, peels. It doesn't work with this cheapy primer that I have from Primark, the CBD primer, Calming Moisturizing Primer. Doesn't work with that. I have it on today. It didn't peel today, and I used the e.l.f. putty primer. So I have that one on today. Another one that it doesn't peel on is a oil primer. And I have been pairing it basically with this Technique Rose Primer Oil because I'm trying to pan this. And it's the only primer that it doesn't peel on, aside from the e.l.f. Putty Primer, which I just tested today before this video. So yeah, this is a dud for sure, because if I have to be finicky about which primer to use before I put on my foundation, honestly, I do not have the patience for that. I like to just put makeup on and not have to worry about it, not have to work for it. I want it to work for me. And yes, I don't have all of the skill in the world, but I know how to put on foundation, and this is just not good enough for me. It really isn't. It's a great color. When it looks good, it looks good. But the fact, like yesterday when I used it, and I used it on top of this primer, it was just atrocious and really, really disgusting. It was like my skin was peeling off. It was just horrible. It was so bad. So this is officially a dud. I'm wondering, does anyone else feel the same thing about this? Because I want to know if I'm the only one, or, you know, if you all feel that way too. There were some other items I could have picked for this prompt. This prompt did sort of, you know, make me think of a lot of things, but because I've been testing that one out more recently, I just had to use it. Okay, so number 6 is an eyeshadow palette that you forgot you had. Luckily, I don't technically forget any of the eyeshadow palettes that I have because I look at them all the time and I rotate them a lot. So I feel like I've got my hands on the majority of them most of the time. Obviously, I can't include any new ones in this, so I've avoided bringing in anything that I've basically purchased in 2022 because I just don't think it's fair. But when I was looking through my collection thinking like, what do I tend to forget that I have? There were a couple of palettes that obviously I know I have, but I kind of just don't ever think about. And so that's what I've sort of based this on. And I think the one that I forget the most is the Main Squeeze from ColourPop. So I had received that big bundle that you got from ColourPop. I don't know if they still have it, where they had all of these original 9-pan monochromatic ones, whether the Main Squeeze, the Just My Luck, the It's My Pleasure, and I don't know, some of the other ones, Honey, and whatever else. Well, the Main Squeeze was in there, and initially I did dip my hands in it. I did play around with it. I actually do like this. From memory, I do like this, and I liked this more than I liked Just My Luck, then I liked Honey. I don't know if that's the case anymore, just simply because I haven't touched this in over a year. well over a year. I really need to. So I tend to just, when I go into my drawers and I do my shop my stash, or just, it's never picked for any pan nose eyeshadows. It's never picked for anything. And I need to start using it because from memory, I feel like this is a really beautiful palette and I never pick it. So yeah, this is my most forgotten about palette. There are definitely a couple more that I could have picked, but I had to be honest with myself and I just never even talk about this. So I had to pick this one. So yeah, hopefully soon I can roll that in to a project or just use it naturally and get some use out of it before the end of the year. Fingers crossed. Okay, so next up is a foundation that is not your shade match. So luckily I have, like most of the foundation I have, some of them are a little bit darker, some of them are a little bit lighter, but I've done a pretty good job at weaning out the ones that don't work for me, especially in terms of darkness. I know I did a really good sort of push to finish my NYX one, the Can't Stop Won't Stop, this year, and that's not in my collection anymore. I have a few BB creams that are a little bit too dark for me, but otherwise most foundations are pretty good aside from this one. So this is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvet Matte Foundation. I have it in the shade Maricao 710, and it's like cement for one thing. It is the thickest foundation I have in my collection. It is very, very, what's the word? High coverage. And it doesn't work. I mean, obviously I'm tan right now, but even in the winter time, I struggle to use this shade. I just think it's too light. I don't know what happens, but you can see it is so thick. It's the thickest. So yeah, that looks ridiculous. Yeah, this is definitely just way too light for me. I've never tried to do anything to deepen it up a little bit or make it work for me. In the winter, I just end up looking like a ghost, and then I try to put some bronzer on, and that's really all I do. Yeah, I'm not at the point that I want to declutter it because I don't hate it. It's just it's a formula that I'm not particularly fond of. I like lighter, creamier foundations, not super heavy, thick foundations for one thing. And I don't generally go for high coverage. However, in the winter I do. So it's really the only time of year that I can wear this and that I kind of end up like wearing something like this. So I'll keep it in for another year, see how much use I get out of it. But yeah, this is definitely not the right shade for me. All right, so number 8 is a product that wasn't worth the hype. Now, technically, I don't know if this product had a lot of hype to it, but I wanted to pull in an item that actually is for the next prompt into this one, but then it worked better for that prompt, so I've left it for that prompt. So number 8, I've sort of ended up picking a highlighter that I was hyped about possibly receiving. So I did pick up an Oden's Eye mystery box this year, and I did receive one of their highlighters. I received this one, which is the Mesmerizer Veil Future highlighter. And this is the one that's more golden. When you look at it, it does have some lilac parts to it, but it's basically just a more goldeny, quite glittery highlighter. And the reason that I find it disappointing and maybe not worth the hype is because I was so excited to try out Oden's Eye. I'd never tried Oden's Eye before. And a lot of the items that I have received, just like thinking about it the last few months, I don't love them. There's only maybe, I got 3 eyeshadow palettes and only one of them I feel like the quality is really good. The other 2, they're not very good. And this highlighter, I got really bad hard pan on it, and I don't like the fact that it seems quite glittery on my skin. Like swatch there, it looks really beautiful, but there are some glitter particles to it that I don't really like. I don't know if you can really see that, but there's definitely a little bit of glitter there, and it's just not my favorite. So I think, I don't know if there was a lot of hype to it. There was certainly a lot of hype to Oden's Eye, and people still are hyped about Oden's Eye, and the Soul Main 2 palette looks absolutely beautiful and stunning, and everybody loves the Angelica palette as well that came out, and yeah, they look beautiful, but I don't know if I like them. I don't know. I think I have to think about what I'm going to purchase from them if I do purchase anything else, because I was disappointed in this and I do feel like, you know, it wasn't worth the hype. All right, so the next one is a concealer that you couldn't make work. Technically, I can make this work, but this is like a really hyped concealer. And if you've watched some of my videos recently, you probably know which concealer I'm going to talk about because I've just talked about it so much. And it is the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. So many people love this. So I could have put it in the previous category, which is an item that is hyped about that I just don't agree with, basically. But, you know, this is a concealer, you know, can I make it work? Yes. Do I like it? No. I think it's so thick. I don't know what it is. I like to put concealer on my eyes. I like to use it as a brightening tool. You know, I don't really do like spot concealing or anything like that. So it's more just to lighten, brighten my face and give a little bit more like highlights and you know, just something like that. And I could put this under my eyes, but it's very thick and I don't have, you know, 20-year-old eyelids anymore, or like under eyes. I just don't. I have 30-year-old under eyelids. So, you know, I don't know if it's that reason that I don't like it, but so many people disagree with me when I say I don't like this concealer, and I think maybe 1 or 2 of you said, no, I agree with you, but everyone else just loves this concealer. So, you know, I technically can make it work, but it's the worst concealer in my collection, in my opinion. I just don't like it. I think it's awful. Not to mince my words or anything, but I really do think it's awful. But, you know, each to their own, of course. And there's items that I hate that everybody loves and vice versa. So, you know, it is what it is. Makeup is very personal to everyone. But yeah, obviously I'm not going to declutter it because I like to finish things. So I will pan it, I will finish it, but I will never buy it again. And yeah, this is the one I picked. All right, and then number 10 is if you had to restart sort of a makeup category in your collection, what would it be? And, you know, I thought this was a pretty easy one. I think it would be lip products and lipsticks and lip, you know, glosses and liquid lipsticks, because that is by far the biggest, aside from eyeshadows, it's the biggest category that I have in my collection. And different to eyeshadows, where I can hit a pan and I'm excited about it, finishing lip products is such a mission for me. Thankfully, I have finished, how many lip products? 2 so far this year, which is pretty horrendous. And I've decluttered another one. I mean, I decluttered a bunch of my decluttered one, but I got one really small and then I decluttered it. And another one I'm about to finish. But it's just not an item that I can finish every 3 to 4 months, where, you know, I can have a bunch of foundations, a bunch of concealers, and, you know I will finish them. Lip products, I just don't. Some of these I've had for 6-7 years. I will never finish them. I will have them for a lifetime, or until I chuck them, or if I give them away to someone if they're good enough. But, you know, the lip products, who's gonna want them? So yeah, I would restart my lip collection and just have the colors that I want, and not have so many liquid lipsticks because I barely use them, not have so many lip glosses because I do like them, but do I use them all the time? No. Lipsticks, I have so many bullet lipsticks, and I like bullet lipsticks as opposed to most people. That's an unpopular opinion. I actually kind of like lipsticks, not liquid lipsticks. I never went off them. I know everyone was like lip glosses, lip balms and all that, and lip tints, but I like lipsticks. But I have far too many. I'll never be able to finish them. And then also lip balms. I have way too many lip balms and I'll never finish them. Lip oils, just all of the lip products, all of them gone. I would happily, if I didn't have so much guilt about how much I have and, you know, having to feel like I need to finish them. If I didn't have any of that in my brain, I would happily give them all away, but maybe like keep 5, because that's all I really need. But yeah, that's not what happened. So anyway, that is it for the makeup declutter tag. I'm not decluttering any of these items. None of these items have been on a chopping block. I mean, actually, the only one that I think I would declutter is probably this one, the crayon blush, because I just don't think realistically I'll ever finish it, and it's just not enjoyable to use. It really is impractical. Aside from that, I don't think I'm going to declutter anything else, but it was still fun to do this tag. I've seen loads of people, you know, do it in the last few days, And yeah, as I said, I saw Angelica Nyqvist do it, so I have her channel linked down below. But Ava Marie, I think that's her name, I also watched her video. I think she started this tag, so you can see her in my description as well. But I'm not going to link everyone else because I've seen a bunch of other people do it. But you know, you'll just find it, just you know, search it. I'm sure you'll find it. I think other people are doing it now because, you know, we're all sort of copycats, so you know, it's fun also just to see what people do. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to. I really hope that you do. Thank you everyone who has already, and I will see you all next time. Bye.